You're in a quiet meeting or a crowded elevator. You feel that familiar tickle in your nostrils. Your chest tightens, your eyes squeeze shut, and in a split-second decision, you do it. You pinch your nose, clamp your mouth shut, and swallow a sneeze that was trying to escape at nearly 100 miles per hour. Good news? You avoided the awkward achoo that would have made everyone glance your way. Bad news? You just turned your own skull into a pressure cooker, and your body is about to pay the price. I'm not a doctor, but if you keep doing this, you're going to need one. Let's talk about why holding in a sneeze is one of the dumbest things evolution lets us do. To understand why holding in a sneeze is a terrible idea, we first have to understand why sneezing exists in the first place. Your body isn't trying to embarrass you, it's trying to save you. Your nose is basically an air filter. Every day, it traps dust, pollen, bacteria, and random microscopic debris. When the lining of your nasal passages gets irritated, your brain triggers the sneeze reflex, a violent, involuntary explosion of air designed to blast those invaders out at hurricane speeds. In fact, a sneeze can propel droplets up to 25 feet and travel over 100 miles per hour. It's your body's equivalent of hitting the emergency eject button. Your ancestors needed this reflex to clear out dust, smoke, and pathogens before they reached their lungs. It's a survival mechanism that's been fine-tuned over millions of years. So when you voluntarily block that ejection system, you're overriding a safety feature that evolution spent eons perfecting, and your body does not appreciate it. Let's get anatomical. When you pinch your nose and close your mouth, the sneeze has nowhere to go. That high-pressure air doesn't just disappear, it redirects. It shoots back through your eustachian tubes into your middle ear. It pushes up into your sinuses. It even forces pressure down into your chest cavity. And here's where it gets scary. Your body isn't built to handle that kind of pressure in those spaces. Think of it like a water balloon. You can squeeze it, but eventually something's going to give. Doctors have documented cases of people who held in a sneeze and ended up with ruptured eardrums. That's your tympanic membrane tearing. Painful and can lead to hearing loss. Fractured orbital bones, the thin bones around your eye socket. Yes, the pressure can literally crack your face. Cervical artery dissections, a tear in the artery in your neck that can cause a stroke. And in extremely rare cases, pneumomediastinum, air leaking into your chest cavity, which can collapse a lung. So let me summarize. You wanted to avoid making a loud noise in a Starbucks. In exchange, you risked a stroke, a collapsed lung, or a face fracture. Good trade? This isn't theoretical. The medical literature is full of people who learned this lesson the hard way. A 34-year-old man in England tried to suppress a sneeze by pinching his nose and closing his mouth. Seconds later, he felt a pop in his throat. He ended up in the ER with subcutaneous emphysema, air trapped in the soft tissues of his neck. His throat swelled so much that doctors worried about his airway. Another case, a teenager held in a sneeze and immediately felt a sharp pain in his chest. An X-ray showed air had leaked into his chest cavity, spontaneous pneumomediastinum. He spent days in the hospital just because he didn't want to make a noise in class. And then there's the case that every neurologist remembers. A 28-year-old woman held in a sneeze and suffered a vertebral artery dissection. That's a tear in one of the major arteries feeding her brain. She had a stroke at 28 because she held in a sneeze. Look, these outcomes are rare. Most of the time, you'll hold in a sneeze and just feel a weird pressure in your head for a few seconds. But the point is, it's a known risk, and it's a risk with zero upside. Now, I promised you some weird biology, so here's a fun fact. You know the phrase, "God bless you," after a sneeze? Some historians say it dates back to the plague, when a sneeze was thought to be the first sign of death. Others say it was just a superstition that your soul could escape your body during the sneeze. Either way, people have always known that sneezes are powerful. They're so powerful, in fact, that your body has a built-in safety reflex. When you sneeze, your heart actually skips a beat, or more accurately, its rhythm temporarily changes. That's because the massive pressure shift messes with your vagus nerve and the blood flow returning to your heart. So the next time someone sneezes loudly in a restaurant and you glare at them, remember, they're just letting their body do what it was designed to do. The person holding it in, that's the one you should be worried about. Okay,
So what do you do when you're in a situation where a full, unfiltered sneeze would be socially nuclear? Do not pinch your nose and seal your mouth shut. Instead, if you absolutely need to muffle it, sneeze into your elbow or a tissue, but let the air out. You can slightly reduce the force by opening your mouth and releasing through your throat, but the golden rule is do not block both exits. Your body is trying to launch a biological missile. Let it launch. Your dignity will survive. Your eardrums, they might not. So there you have it. Evolution gave you the sneeze reflex to keep your airways clean, and your modern social anxiety is telling you to override it. Don't. The human body is a beautiful, messy, slightly chaotic machine, but it doesn't take kindly to having its emergency escape valves sealed shut. Have you ever held in a sneeze and felt something weird happen? Or do you have one of those earth-shaking sneezes that scares small children? Let me know in the comments. I genuinely want to hear your sneeze confessions. If you enjoyed this trip through your own faulty biological design, hit that subscribe button. And remember, stay curious, but maybe don't try to outsmart a sneeze. Your body's been doing this for millions of years. Let it cook. I am not a doctor, but I am right.